Hi, my name is Jordan White, and I have sickle cell.
Okay, Jordan. Uh, so, what would you say is the hardest thing about having sickle cell disease, Jordan?
I would say the hardest thing is probably just learning how to deal with the pain and different experiences that come with having sickle cell on the day to day. Kind of finding that balance, but still being able to have like your own life and being able to go about your day.
Yeah. What would you say the sickle cell pain feels like to you?
Oh man, that's a hard one because
Yeah.
I feel it comes in like all different forms. Is one day it could be like a sharp pain or it could be aching. It's a lot of different things.
Yeah, the pain is pretty debilitating. I say for me, like, I try to describe it. It's hard to describe, but sometimes it feels like there's needles in your back and your
Right.
body, and it can be pretty difficult, my guy. So what do you do for a living, Jordan? I know you are a pretty smart guy. You're into real estate and you are into music. Can you tell the audience about that?
Yeah. To simplify it, I would say I'm a realtor, investor, and businessman. I have two companies. I would like to get my nonprofit started, and I work kind of on the creative side and the corporate side. So it kind of
Yeah.
goes two different ways, but I love to branch out and do as many things as possible.
Yeah, so you seem to be like a pretty busy guy, and you have your toes in a little bit of everything. As a sickle cell warrior, how do you balance that out?
It's kind of hard at times. I mean, you have to deal with your problems that come with having sickle cell, but after a while, you just start learning how to deal with it. I mean, it goes from pretty much, how would I put this? It goes from pretty much, oh, that's a hard one. Wait,
Nah,
all
nah,
right.
nah, it's cool. Take your time.
What was the question again?
Yeah, how do you? No, it's cool, bro. We can always edit it out. How do you balance um doing so much, while having sickle cell? You know.
Yeah, I mean, after a while dealing with sickle cell, you learn how to really balance things out.
Mhm.
You learn your limits, and you need to know how your body needs this nourishment. Like you need your
Mhm.
rest, you need to drink your water, you need to still stay active, but also take a break.
Yeah, no, that's great, man. So, how often would you say you're hospitalized with the crisis? And when you are hospitalized, like, what are some of the things that you do in the hospital to help you feel better?
I would say I'm not in the hospital as much as a lot of people that I do know.
Okay.
But when I am in the hospital, I like to laugh. I like to joke around. Like, as they say, humor is the best medicine.
Yeah.
And then I just keep myself busy. Either I'm working or watching TV and movies and
Yeah.
just getting things done while I can.
Yeah, man. I know when I'm in the hospital, I like to watch cartoons and listen to a lot of music to help me get better. But there's all different types of treatments, like IVs and water. But yeah, and so I'm just really curious to hear, because I know a lot of people who watch the channel and a lot of people who have sickle cell disease, they tend to struggle with mental health. What are some things you do to help your mental health and inspire yourself to keep pushing forward?
Personally, I would say I love going for long drives.
Okay.
I'm kind of a road runner that way. I feel like it's definitely a safe space for me where I can just relax, listen to my music, get some snacks, uh, maybe hit a lake or just a random town and
That's
see what they
cool.
have.
Yeah.
A lot of art that I've picked up over the a couple years so
Yeah.
far has come from that,
Yeah.
and a lot of good experiences.
Dude, that's dope, man. I feel like all those things are good ways to help yourself decrease like the stress you maybe have when you're suffering with sickle cell. And I feel like the less stress you have, like the less likely you are to have an attack. So I'm kind of glad you have like therapeutic ways to help yourself. Do you find yourself meditating? I know we talked about that a bit.
Yeah.
How does that help with your health?
It really just clears your mind. You're able to relax and take a break for a second and see things clearly.
Yeah. And do you feel like meditation helps you specifically with sickle cell anyway, or not, or just overall? How does that help you with sickle cell?
In terms of sickle cell, I
Yeah.
would say when it comes to meditating, it helps more when it comes to like breathing techniques and
Yeah.
kind of relaxing. Just
Yeah.
ease the body into it.
No, that's actually pretty interesting. I think that's great because when you can like breathe in properly, that really does. If you can really find a way to take deep breaths, that can go a long way for helping you manage your sickle cell. So I'm glad you mentioned that, man. And it sounds like you're a pretty busy guy. You got a lot going on. I know you like to read books. What are some of the books that you like to read?
I like to keep it diverse. I read a little bit of everything. I've read a lot of like the Robert Greene books.
Yeah.
I like social science and psychology, things of that sort.
Yeah.
But I also keep the fiction in there just to keep it going.
Yeah. Nah, dude, that's great, man. When I first met you and I came in here, like one of the first things I noticed about you is that you have a lot of books, and that attracted me to you because I like to hang out with smart people. So I'm glad that you do that. I like to do the same thing, and so yeah, I'm glad that you're here, man, because I think people like you are an inspiration. I think more people need to hear stories like this. So I know you're a huge advocate for people with sickle cell. What do you do to help progress the cause? I know you're pretty active. You're pretty active in the community. What are some of the things you do to keep progressing sickle cell?
Well, as a kid, my mom got me involved. She was very active when it came to the community, volunteering, blood drives, and so much more. We have the Sickle Cell Walkathon that goes on every year. So for me, going forward, I want to get more involved and help people in terms of funding, research, and I would love to help you out more when it comes to doing videos and different things.
Yeah, that's great, man. We're definitely gonna talk and collaborate. I noticed you said something about funding. I think funding is a pretty important part to sickle cell, and I feel like one major issue in the sickle cell disease community is that we don't get enough funding for whatever the reason may be, whether it be it's because it's a minority disease or we don't get the attention for whatever. What would you say are some things we can do to help ourselves get more funding?
Honestly, we really have to get more information out there. I feel like a lot of people, even in our own community, don't really have a lot of knowledge about what sickle cell is. So I feel like that's more the first step, and then from there we can go on to getting more funding, getting people to donate, come out and support us, as well as reaching out to government officials to see if they can help with funding when it comes to such things as blood, because we do the blue tag already, and try to just reach out and see what we can do as individuals and come together.
Yeah, that's great, man. So I'm glad I'm speaking to you. And then my last question to you, Jordan, is if you had any inspiring advice for people with sickle cell, what would it be?
For me, I would say my known mantra, it always worked for me. I would tell people to go with the flow like a leaf on a rippled lake.
Ah, that's smooth. And can you elaborate for people who may not know what that means?
Okay? You just have to pretty much just let the waves take you.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So just go for the flow, go with the flow, and like be cool, right? Yeah.
It's only so much you can really do.
Yeah.
So, and there's so much out of your control. So, you stay on your path and really don't let anybody tell you you can't overcome those obstacles that may get in your way along the way.
Yeah. All right. That's beautiful advice, man. Thank you, Jordan, for sharing your story. I think a lot of people would benefit from it, and it's always good to see a young black man be healthy and spread the torch and be an inspiration for the sickle cell community. Thank you so much.
Thank you.